Welcome to Zarpado, the channel where curiosity never sleeps. Subscribe now, please. We're already starting. A retired Bosnian man surprised the world when he transformed a Volkswagen Beetle into a true work of art. He covered the entire car with more than 50,000 pieces of oak wood, including the rims, the steering wheel, and even the dashboard. The result is a unique car that looks like something out of a medieval tale. A perfect example of patience and dedication. In Wales, there is the most unusual office of all. A cliff is the workplace of a man who answers calls for sports brands. Since he didn't need a physical location, he decided to set up shop in the middle of nature. From there, he serves his clients while enjoying one of the most impressive views on the planet, a luxury few can afford. In the depths of the Gulf of Mexico, a fascinating creature was discovered, the pocket shark. Despite belonging to the shark family, it measures just about 5.5 inches. The most incredible thing is that it can glow in the dark thanks to luminescent pockets under its gills. A tiny fish, but full of mystery. New Zealand is home to the world's largest swing, suspended more than 525 feet high and reaching speeds of over 75 miles per. Those who dare to climb it first enjoy a dose of pure adrenaline and then spectacular views of the landscape, an experience that combines fear and beauty. There is a technique called tonic immobility that causes sharks to become hypnotized. A diver demonstrated it by gently stroking the snout of one of them, which reacted as if it were her pet. Although the scene seems cute, it is actually dangerous and not recommended. The marine world never ceases to amaze. Jamie Catone is a man with a strange condition. Any object sticks to his skin. He discovered this phenomenon at the age of 7, and since then, doctors have been trying to understand it. It's believed their skin absorbs more oxygen than normal, but the exact cause remains a mystery. Only 3 people in the world share this ability. Brazilian photographer Vitor Schietti created a unique project using fireworks called impermanent sculptures. Capturing these images requires great precision, as the lights last only seconds. He then retouches the colors in Photoshop to enhance the magic of each shot. The result is photographs that look like true light paintings. If you're tired of city traffic jams, you should consider a car like this. Its width is only about 20 inches, so it can squeeze through almost anywhere on the road and park in even the tightest spaces. 2 people can easily fit in the back seat and still have room in the trunk, but if you enter a curve too quickly, it can all end like that. Bubble soccer is a comical and fun twist on the traditional sport. Players squeeze inside huge inflatable spheres that cover their bodies. The falls and crashes, far from being painful, are part of the fun. The spectacle is so funny that watching it is almost as entertaining as playing it. Eric Klebel, a 12-year-old boy, broke a record by building the world's tallest popsicle stick tower. He reached about 20 feet in height and had to move it to the garden to fully erect it. With a pyramid-shaped base, his creation was a challenge of balance and patience, a small giant of homemade engineering. Russian jeweler M. Miyago demonstrated extraordinary precision when carving a Godzilla from a simple grain of rice. Using a microscope and tiny tools, he worked for 3 days until the figure captured every detail. The miniature is so delicate that a single mistake would have destroyed the work. Pure microscopic art. A rather peculiar product was launched in Japan. Pepsi-flavored Cheetos. These snacks combine classic popped corn with a tangy condiment that simulates the famous drink. Although it may sound strange, many snack fans were delighted with the combination. Japan never ceases to amaze with its culinary inventions. A paragliding pilot and a circus artist combined their talents to perform aerial acrobatics. At about 2,625 feet high, the woman hung from the harness while the pilot controlled the flight. The figures she created looked like choreographed figures in the sky, accompanied by the landscape in the background, a perfect blend of risk and art. A hamster known as Super Hamster Bros went viral on social media. His owner built him a stage inspired by the classic video game Mario Bros. The little rodent ran, jumped, and explored the level with surprising grace. In just 2 weeks, the video reached more than 2 million views. Stefan is a brown bear who has lived with a Russian family since he was 3 months old. He was rescued after being orphaned and grew up as a regular member of the family. Today he weighs about 770 pounds, sits down to dinner, waters, plants, and even watches television. Although he's adorable, many experts question his ability to live outside his natural habitat. A French DJ named Tejo took his passion to the next level by mixing electronic music at the top of the Swiss Alps. At over 9,800 feet above sea level, he defied the cold and his own fear of heights to put on an unforgettable show. The audience enjoyed a party amidst a dreamlike landscape. Israeli artist Sigalit Landau decided to soak a dress in the Dead Sea for 2 years. When she took it out, it was completely covered in salt crystals. The result was a garment that looked like something out of a fairy tale, rigid and shiny, an example of how nature can also be a designer. In Minecraft, a player built a working computer within the game. The invention allows you to use programs like Paint and even play the classic game Doom. Other users can purchase the parts and build their own. An incredible example of how far digital creativity can go. From the sky, a huge flock of sheep looks like a moving white sea. Drone footage shows how the sheepdogs manage to organize them in surprising ways. They all move in the same direction, creating a living wave that moves across the countryside. The scene is so hypnotic it seems choreographed. On the International Space Station, astronauts work installing new solar panels. Their movements floating in the void are so natural that they seem to be engaged in a cosmic dance. What is routine for them is an extraordinary spectacle for those observing from Earth. Seeing such precision in zero gravity is simply fascinating. A curious Japanese electric car was designed with a fabric body. Dubbed the Rimono, it only has 2 seats and can travel up to about 28 miles per hour. Its range is about 31 miles, enough for urban driving. The most striking thing is that, despite being made of fabric, it works like any other car. A 93-year-old grandfather has become an internet star by playing racing video games. His passion for driving stems from a life surrounded by cars, as his entire family was a taxi driver. His grandson streams his games on YouTube, where we see him driving classics like the Mazda RX-7. For him, driving virtually is like reliving his youth. Creativity knows no bounds. A carrot can be turned into a flute. With a knife, a drill, and some patience, YouTuber Carolyn Miller demonstrated that this vegetable can produce real music. The result is a functional instrument that sounds amazing. Further proof that music can come from the most unexpected things. The world's largest Rubik's Cube is on display in a Hong Kong shopping mall. At over 8 feet tall, it broke the Guinness World Record. The title previously belonged to a cube just over 6.5 feet long, created by Tony Richard. Now, this gigantic puzzle dazzles visitors with its colossal size. A Russian man, passionate about the Lord of the Rings, decided to take his fanaticism to the extreme. He's Dmitry Golev, who often goes shopping dressed as the Witch King of Angmar. Although his armor weighs around 44 pounds, he wears it naturally in his daily life. For him, cosplay isn't a hobby, but a lifestyle. Street artist Francisco de Pajaro transforms trash into works of art. He travels around London painting and decorating the rubbish he finds. With a little paint, forgotten objects come to life in the form of playful figures. For him, giving new meaning to discarded things is a romantic form of expression. Rani, the world's smallest cow, lived in Bangladesh. At just 20 inches tall and 26 inches long, she resembled a miniature animal. She weighed only 57 pounds, unusual for her species. Sadly, she passed away in 2021 due to stomach problems, leaving behind a record that is difficult to break. Indian driver Kush Maini has set a world record with his car. He managed to travel about 1.36 miles on just 2 wheels, keeping the vehicle tilted in a perfect side wheelie. He learned to drive these cars at the age of 13, inspired by his father, also a driver. His skill made him a legend in car stunts. An inventor named Eve Rossi created a device that turns people into a real human jet. Its jet-powered wings allow it to fly at speeds of up to 186 miles per hour with great stability. He is still working on perfecting the takeoff and landing to make it completely autonomous. Without a doubt, this is an incredible step towards the dream of flying like a bird. Alla Levushkina was recognized as the longest-lived surgeon on the planet. She continued operating until she was 90, performing 4 surgeries a day. Her steady hands allowed her to complete more than 10,000 operations over a 67-year career. She passed away in 2020, leaving behind an impressive legacy in medicine. The famous practice of swallowing a sword is not magic, but an act of absolute control over the body. Unlike eating, which involves contracting muscles, this trick requires completely relaxing them. The illusionist aligns his mouth, esophagus, and pharynx so that the blade descends unhindered. It is an extreme physical challenge that astonishes audiences. Bruce Campbell, an American engineer, decided to transform an old Boeing 727 airplane into his home. To achieve this, he transported the enormous aircraft by road to the outskirts of Portland. He removed all the seats and adapted it with water, electricity, and sewage. Today, he lives inside his peculiar and futuristic aerial home. In Prague, there's a seemingly endless tower of books. Thanks to strategically placed mirrors, visitors feel like they're standing in front of an endless cylinder of knowledge. It's not just a visual effect, but a tribute to infinite human curiosity. Imagine choosing a book from a library that never ends. What would you choose? In Kutná Hora, Czech Republic, there's a chapel decorated with the remains of more than 40 people. The bones form lamps, shields, and a monumental chandelier, transforming death into a haunting art. This place is striking for its blend of history, creativity, and the macabre. Without a doubt, a place where mortality becomes artistic expression. The New Zealand kiwi is flightless, and its feathers resemble fur. It is nocturnal and uses its sense of smell to find earthworms underground, something unique among birds. This curious animal has become a cultural symbol of the country, representing its identity and special nature. What other animal could symbolize an entire nation? In Iceland, eggs can cook themselves thanks to extremely hot thermal currents. Locals and tourists enjoy breakfast while admiring unique volcanic landscapes. This phenomenon demonstrates the power of nature and how it can replace fire and the pot. Would you dare to dip an egg into a boiling river? In China, some cats are born with extensions of skin and fur on their backs that resemble wings. Although they cannot fly, they arouse surprise and superstition among locals, who consider them to be bringers of good luck or magical creatures. Seeing one walking with wings provokes fascination and awe. How would you react to such a cat? In Catalonia, Spain, castels are human towers that rise up to 10 stories. This spectacle requires strength, balance, and mutual trust, and UNESCO has recognized it as a cultural heritage site. The children who reach the summit symbolize courage and community, creating an impressive ritual. The experience of witnessing it is thrilling and unique. The Caribbean fireworm is both hypnotic and dangerous. Its white bristles glow like embers, but they contain venom that causes intense pain upon contact. Brave divers approach to admire its beauty and mesmerizing nature, a reminder that the most beautiful thing can also be the most lethal. The praying mantis appears to be praying with its front legs, but it is a relentless predator. It can remain motionless for hours before attacking insects and even other members of its species. Its combination of calm and lethality makes it unique, an insect that unites apparent spirituality with a killer instinct. Vik's Black Beach, Reynisfjara in Iceland, is famous for its black sand and basalt columns that resemble natural cathedrals. The constant Atlantic swell adds a dramatic and dangerous touch. Walking through this volcanic landscape is like being on another planet, between beauty and risk. An experience that challenges the senses. Wolfia globosa, or water rice, is the smallest flower in the world, just 0.04 inches in diameter. Despite its tiny size, it contains protein, iron, and antioxidants, making it a superfood. It is consumed in Asia as part of traditional soups and stews, a miniature with gigantic nutritional power. In Azerbaijan, some volcanoes eject cold, bubbling mud instead of lava. The pressure of underground gases creates craters that look like boiling gray seas. Although not lethal, they suddenly release large amounts of gas, a natural spectacle that seems straight out of another planet. On some farms, chickens are born with 4 legs due to rare genetic mutations. Many do not survive, but some manage to grow normally. This phenomenon fascinates scientists and farmers, showing how small genetic changes generate surprising results. Nature never ceases to amaze. A sea turtle capable of glowing red and green under ultraviolet light was discovered in the Solomon Islands. This rare phenomenon opens new doors to the study of bioluminescence in reptiles. Seeing it glow is an impressive and rare natural spectacle, a true marine treasure that defies the imagination. In Africa, giant rats have been trained to detect landmines. Their keen sense of smell and lightness allow them to identify explosives without detonating them. Thanks to them, thousands of lives have been saved. These animals work as silent heroes, proving that even the smallest can have a great impact. The Madagascar baobab has a gigantic trunk that stores thousands of gallons of water. Some specimens are over 1,000 years old, becoming guardians of time and history. For locals, these sacred trees convey ancient legends, a 1,000-year-old tree that defies time and imagination. Snails have eyes at the ends of their tentacles, which they can quickly move and retract in the face of danger. Although they only perceive light and shadows, their sense of smell allows them to navigate and find food. This design makes them look like creatures from another planet, combining simplicity and functionality in a fascinating way. Danish freediver Stig Severinsen managed to hold his breath underwater for 22 minutes, breaking records. He trained with yoga, meditation, and mental control, optimizing his oxygen consumption. His feat demonstrates the incredible capacity of the human body, guided by discipline and the mind. An example of overcoming challenges that border on the impossible. In Greece, Meteora is home to monasteries built on enormous rock pillars. For centuries, monks sought isolation and protection at these heights. Today, these temples appear to float in the air and attract thousands of visitors. A perfect combination of architecture, spirituality, and breathtaking landscape. In Egypt, a mummy was discovered with its mouth open, as if caught in a scream. Its expression has generated theories about its death or the process of decomposition. This discovery continues to intrigue archaeologists and curious observers, remaining one of the most disturbing mysteries of ancient Egypt, an enigma that defies history and imagination. Daniel Jackson, at age 20, founded the Free Republic of Virtus in an unclaimed territory between Croatia and Serbia. He created a flag, currency, and citizens, ruling from exile after being expelled. His project combines idealism, creativity, and youthful audacity, a micronation that proves that even an individual can dream big. The Suriname toad carries its eggs in the skin of its back. The embryos develop there, protected, until they emerge as toadlets ready to live. This unique strategy ensures survival in a hostile environment. Nature once again demonstrates its creativity in ways that seem like something out of science fiction. Miswak, a twig that cleans teeth naturally, is used in various regions of the world. Its fibers remove plaque and contain antibacterial properties and fluoride. This ancient method shows that oral hygiene doesn't always require modern technology, an example of how nature offers practical and healthy solutions. Aldrovanda vesiculosa is a carnivorous plant that traps insects and crustaceans underwater. Its traps close in milliseconds, capturing prey with great efficiency. Little known, it stands out for its perfect adaptation to the aquatic environment. In South America, the 88 butterfly has a pattern on its wings that resembles the number 88. This design is not only beautiful, but also confuses predators, serving as natural camouflage. Its uniqueness makes it a symbol of beauty in several countries, a testament to how nature combines art and survival. The anti-gravity Awoni records in 8K 360 with no blind spots. Its lenses and software make the drone disappear into the video, creating completely immersive shots. It weighs only about 8.8 ounces and is controlled with gestures and eye contact. Ideal for events and film, it opens up unique possibilities for capturing reality from every angle. In Japan, scientists have achieved something impressive, creating natural teeth in adults. After animal trials, they began testing on 30 people with missing molars. The treatment consists of an intravenous injection that could replace dental implants. This technique could also open the door to regenerative therapies in other tissues. Scientists have invented inexpensive, rechargeable, and biodegradable paper batteries. They are manufactured using screen printing with layers of zinc, carbon, and conductive ink. A 1.6 per 1.6 inch battery can power a small fan for 45 minutes. Their production costs 10 times less than traditional lithium batteries. In Colombia, keeping parrots as pets is illegal and can be punished with fines or imprisonment. These birds are essential to ecosystems, helping to disperse seeds and control pests. Some species are on the verge of extinction, and many are illegally captured. The law protects their welfare, punishing cruelty to them severely. Quentin Tarantino nearly abandoned *Inglourious Basterds* because he couldn't find the perfect actor for Hans Landa. After auditioning dozens of actors, Christoph Waltz, a relatively unknown, won the role. The intense opening scene on the farm is considered one of the best in cinema. This discovery saved an iconic film. A study revealed that disconnecting from digital devices for 72 hours affects the brain. It reduces the release of dopamine and serotonin, causing anxiety and distress. However, it also improves mental clarity and concentration. The hummingbird has the fastest heart in the world, beating between 250 and 700 times per minute at rest. During flight, it can exceed 1,000 beats per minute. This frenetic pace is necessary to sustain their metabolism and ability to fly. Even so, these tiny birds maintain a surprising and constant energy. A woman in China unwittingly used a hand grenade as a hammer for 20 years. She only realized it when workers identified the object during a demolition. The grenade was safely destroyed by authorities. In China, humanoid robots interact with humans in everyday activities. Models like the Gone and Hone can play with children and participate in public spaces. These robots have real-time interaction capabilities, bringing robotics closer to everyday life. Technology is advancing at a pace that seems straight out of a futuristic movie. Richard Dick, Norris Williams survived the sinking of the Titanic by clinging to a lifeboat with his legs frozen. After recovering, he won the U.S. Open mixed doubles title the same year and more titles later. His resilience made him a symbol of the sport. He was inducted into the Tennis Hall of Fame in 1957, proving that determination can overcome tragedy. Sleeping on your left side provides benefits to the body, such as reducing gastroesophageal reflux and improving nighttime rest. It also promotes circulation to the baby and pregnant women, and lymphatic cleansing of the brain. Sleeping on your right side may be less beneficial for these processes. Posture significantly influences daily health and well-being. In the deep sea, octopuses use shells for shelter and protection, adapting their bodies to cover themselves like armor. This skill arises instinctively, without the need for teaching. The shells become improvised shields that demonstrate the animal's intelligence and creativity. Dogs can detect cancer before doctors. In one study, a dog identified lung cancer with 97.6% accuracy using only the scent of patients' breath and urine. Although this technique is not standard in hospitals, it offers a promising avenue for the early detection of serious diseases. Canine olfaction continues to surprise science. Adams chewing gum has a curious connection to Mexico. During his exile in New York, President Antonio Lopez de Santa Anna showed Adams a chewing gum extracted from the sapodilla tree. Adams attempted to use it as a rubber substitute but failed. Eventually, he drew inspiration from this tradition to market the famous Chiclets chewing gum brand. In Japan, there are capsule hotels the size of a modern coffin. Although it may seem claustrophobic, each capsule is equipped with Wi-Fi, a reading light, air conditioning, and a small TV screen. They are perfect for travelers, backpackers, and office workers looking to sleep comfortably in just 21 square feet. Every year during the Perseid and Geminid meteor showers, the night sky becomes a meteor spectacle. Fragments of comets and asteroids streak through the atmosphere, creating brilliant trails that illuminate the night. Photographers from around the world capture these phenomena with high-speed cameras, revealing stunning details. Watching the meteor shower is like watching a live cosmic light show. In Scotland, Evanestor Place is the shortest street in the world, just 6.8 feet long and with a single door. Officially registered in 1887, it attracts tourists who stop to photograph it and cross it from end to end for fun. Its tiny size makes it a curious attraction that you can lose sight of in the blink of an eye. It's a small corner full of historic charm. In London, a curved facade building called Walkie Talkie once reflected the sun so intensely that it melted cars parked in front of it. The concave shape concentrated the light like a giant magnifying glass, generating a phenomenon known as the death ray. Special panels corrected the effect, but the story remained as an architectural warning. A meteorite that fell in Australia surprised scientists by containing an oily compound with a texture and smell similar to peanut butter. Although inedible, this carbon and nitrogen-rich substance reinforces the theory that some essential elements for life arrive from space. The small Icelandic village lives at the foot of the active Katla volcano. Despite the constant risk, its inhabitants have developed a unique evacuation plan. In the event of an eruption, everyone must head to a church atop a nearby hill. The community has learned to live with the volcanic threat for centuries. Their resilience demonstrates how humanity can adapt even in dangerous environments. A simple experiment creates a cloud inside a plastic bottle using hot water, air, and a match. By pressing and releasing the bottle, the vapor condenses, forming a visible cloud inside. This experiment teaches principles of atmospheric physics in a fun and visual way. In the Netherlands, they invented the hydrobike, a bicycle capable of moving on land and water. Equipped with side floats and pedal-activated propellers, these bikes can reach speeds of up to 9 miles per hour in canals and rivers. They are an eco-friendly and fun option for getting around cities with abundant water. Turning water into an alternative route has never been so entertaining. In Norway, an artist built a piano entirely out of ice, from the keys to the strings. It can only be played for a few hours before it begins to melt, and its sound varies depending on the ambient temperature. Each performance is unique and unrepeatable, an ephemeral concert between art and nature. To attend would be to experience music disappearing before your eyes. In South Korea, some publishers print books on seed paper, which contains tiny seeds in its fibers. Once red, the paper can be buried and watered, giving rise to flowers or even tomatoes. This idea combines reading and sustainability, allowing the story to live on after the last page. In certain areas of Pennsylvania and Australia, tap water can catch fire upon contact with a flame. This occurs when methane seeps into aquifers, a phenomenon linked to gas extraction through fracking. Although dangerous, it is a reminder of the environmental impact that certain human practices can generate. An essential resource turned into a burning threat. In Utah lies Balanced Rock, a 3,860-ton rock that seems to defy gravity. It remains balanced on a narrow base and has withstood earthquakes, winds, and storms for centuries. It is one of the most visited attractions in Arches National Park, fascinating tourists and photographers. A natural spectacle that combines imposing stability and visual awe. Takeda Castle in Japan appears to float among the clouds when there is dense fog. Located high on a mountain, the base is completely covered by clouds on certain days, creating the illusion of a flying castle. Known as the Japanese Machu Picchu, it is a fortress suspended between heaven and earth, a place that blends mystery and architectural beauty. In the Mauritanian desert lies Richard's structure, or Eye of the Sahara, a rocky spiral more than 25 miles in diameter. It can only be fully appreciated from space, and its origin is still debated. Some believe it was a meteorite impact. Others argue volcanic causes. It's a natural wonder that seems to observe the Earth from the sands of time. In Bolivia, near the Salar de Uyuni, there is a hotel built almost entirely from salt blocks, from walls to furniture. Guests must follow special rules to preserve the structure, although many can't resist the temptation to taste the salt. Sleeping there is a unique experience, surrounded by a hypnotic white environment. The Fly Geyser in Nevada emerged by accident in the 1960s when a drilling rig released hot, mineral-rich water instead of drinking water. Over time, the minerals formed colorful deposits in the shape of glowing cones, resembling alien mountains. This human error created one of the strangest and most beautiful formations on the planet, a landscape that seems otherworldly but is real. A French company created an edible bottle made from biodegradable seaweed. It's shaped like a giant teardrop and can be drunk and chewed, replacing traditional plastic containers. The idea seeks to reduce waste and offer a sustainable solution for events and everyday use. A futuristic capsule that disappears without a trace. The bowerbird, a bird native to Australia and New Guinea, builds courtship galleries decorated with flowers, stones, and shiny objects. These structures aren't nests but displays to attract mates. Each gallery is unique, and its creativity determines the male's romantic success. Hawaii is home to the small Scissor-terra steamer, Sony, known as the mountaineering fish. It can climb waterfalls using its suction cup mouth and fins, reaching calm areas to lay its eggs. It is one of the few fish capable of this physical feat, demonstrating a mountaineering spirit in a body of water. When an iceberg spins, its submerged part reveals intense colors such as emerald green, turquoise, or black stripes. This ancient ice, compressed for centuries and almost bubble-free, creates a stunning visual spectacle. Rotation can occur due to imbalance or erosion, revealing a completely different block of ice. In Italy and Greece, there are marble mines so gigantic that excavators and trucks look like toys. Each extracted block can weigh several tons and is used in sculptures and luxury apartments. From the sky, these mines look like works of art created by giants. The dragonfly has the incredible ability to move its four wings independently, allowing it to fly forward, backward, diagonally, or hover in the air. This ability inspires the design of drones and ultralight vehicles. An ancient creature that already incorporates cutting-edge technology, Wim Hof, known as the Iceman, controls his body temperature in extreme conditions. He runs marathons barefoot on snow, swims on ice, and endures ice baths for hours. All thanks to special breathing and mental training. Scientists study his body to understand how it challenges the limits of the human immune system. A Slovakian created the first transparent coffee called CLRCF, which looks like water but tastes like regular coffee. It maintains the same amount of caffeine and prevents tooth stains thanks to high-pressure filtration. Its deceptive appearance does not alter its flavor or aroma, offering the experience of a traditional cup without leaving a visible trace. The coelacanth is a prehistoric fish that was thought to have been extinct for 66 million years until a living specimen was found in South Africa in 1938. Since then, others have been found in the Indian Ocean, surprising scientists. It can live more than 60 years, measure up to 6.5 feet, and weigh 200 pounds. Its lobed fins and primitive shape make it a true time traveler among us. In the Arizona desert, United States, lies the wave, a rock formation of reddish, orange, and yellow colors that appear painted by nature. These undulating bands were formed over millions of years by wind erosion and the accumulation of minerals. Access is limited to protect this fragile landscape. On the island of Lesbos, Greece, lies a fossil forest where ancient tree trunks have been transformed into stone. This happened 20 million years ago when volcanic eruptions covered the vegetation with ash and lava. The minerals replaced the organic matter, preserving even the tree growth rings. Pripyat, the Ukrainian city abandoned after the Chernobyl disaster in 1986, remains frozen in time. Its buildings, schools, toys, and a Ferris wheel remained intact for decades. Although some areas are still dangerous due to radiation, tourists and explorers visit, fascinated by its horror movie atmosphere. In the depths of the Indian Ocean lives the iron scale snail, known as Chrysomelis squamiferum. Its shell and skin are coated with iron and sulfur, creating a unique natural armor. This protects it from predators and the extreme conditions of the seabed. The Amorphophallus titanum, or corpse flower, is one of the largest and smelliest flowers in the world. Its rotten meat-like smell attracts carrion insects that help pollinate it. It can grow up to 10 feet tall, but only blooms for a few days after years of waiting. In some industrial areas of India, stray dogs with deep blue fur have been seen. This phenomenon is a result of chemical pollution from nearby factories. The color is only visible evidence of a serious environmental problem affecting animal health. These images are a reminder of the impact of industry on life and nature, showing that beauty can hide dangers. In 2013, an emperor penguin, nicknamed Happy Feet, washed up on a beach in New Zealand, more than 1,860 miles from his home in Antarctica. An ocean current carried him off course, and, disoriented, he began eating sand thinking it was snow. He was rescued, equipped with a GPS, and returned safely south. His story is an example of error, adventure, and survival in the natural world. Dean Karnazes is an ultra-athlete who has run more than 310 miles without resting, crossing deserts, mountains, and cities. His body eliminates lactic acid with great efficiency, avoiding cramps and extreme fatigue. He runs for days on end with only running shoes and determination. He is an example of what human strength can achieve when endurance and willpower are combined. In Jellyfish Lake in Palau, millions of golden jellyfish swim slowly, unable to sting, thanks to the absence of predators for thousands of years. Visitors can swim among them, creating a magical experience. Their translucent bodies and slow movements create an almost alien scene. This lake is a unique visual and sensory spectacle on the planet. On extremely hot surfaces, water droplets can float briefly on a layer of vapor before evaporating. This phenomenon, known as the Leidenfrost effect, causes the droplets to slide, spin, and bounce as if alive. It can be observed when water is dropped onto a very hot pan. On the International Space Station, astronauts follow special diets to survive in zero gravity. They eat powdered ice cream, dehydrated soups, and vacuum-packed tortillas, avoiding floating crumbs. Drinks are consumed through bags with straws. Each meal is designed to provide the nutrients and energy needed in space, a showcase of futuristic culinary engineering. On Lake Titicaca, Peru and Bolivia, the Uros community lives on floating islands made of totora reeds, a local aquatic plant. The islands require constant maintenance to prevent them from sinking. Houses and boats are built with this natural material. Living there is in direct contact with nature, swaying gently in the wind and waves. Tricolored bats build shelters by rolling large leaves with their feet in suction cups. They prefer cool, flexible leaves that offer insulation and camouflage. They remain safe inside these shelters until nightfall. They also coordinate their construction with squeals, demonstrating ingenuity and patience in their natural habitats. In Sweden, the Utter Inn Hotel floats on a lake, with an underwater bedroom that allows you to observe aquatic life from the windows. To get there, guests must use a boat, making the visit a true adventure. Spending the night underwater without leaving your room is possible. Iceland has geothermal fields where the ground seems to boil, such as in Varir. Mud and water bubble continuously due to the heat of the magma beneath the earth. The smell of sulfur and the strange landscape create an almost alien atmosphere. Walking there is like feeling the earth breathe and move beneath our feet. In the Netherlands and Canada, green bridges are built for animals to cross roads safely. Covered in vegetation, they connect forests and reserves, allowing the migration of deer, foxes, and bears. This ingenuity protects wildlife. Capillarity allows water to walk between glasses using absorbent paper. This phenomenon, similar to that used by plants to transport water, is observed with food coloring, showing how liquids move slowly. It's a simple trick that reveals secrets of nature and the transport of liquids in our environment. Lake Rotorua in New Zealand has waters rich in minerals and sulfur, with a viscous, jelly-like consistency. Its color changes between green, yellow, and brown, depending on geothermal activity. The strong smell of rotten eggs indicates that swimming is not safe. This place combines mystery, visual beauty, and an inhospitable environment. In the Atacama Desert, Chile, life flourishes after exceptional rainfall. Its arid soil is covered with multicolored flowers for just a few weeks, transforming the dry landscape into a vibrant sea of life. This phenomenon is a natural miracle that fascinates scientists and visitors. The desert land becomes a spectacle of color and resurgence. In Xianji, China, the colorful mountains resemble a petrified rainbow. Millions of years of mineral and sediment accumulation created bands of vibrant colors that stretch for miles. This geological park is a global attraction for its visual beauty. Its vivid hues tell the story of the earth and the patience of nature. Denmark celebrates sand sculpture festivals that reach up to 33 feet high. Artists work for weeks molding castles and detailed figures. These ephemeral works combine creativity and patience, turning simple materials into stunning art. To admire them is to witness how human imagination transforms nature into wonder. In Cancun, Mexico, underwater museums combine art and conservation. Submerged sculptures encourage coral growth and host marine life. Over time, the statues integrate into the ecosystem, becoming living reefs. It is an example of how art can coexist with nature and restore biodiversity. The Kawah Ijen volcano in Indonesia produces blue lava at night. This phenomenon is caused by sulfur gases that burn upon contact with the air, creating an almost magical, luminous effect. It attracts scientists and adventurers from around the world. This natural spectacle combines danger, beauty, and rarity, a volcanic gem for those seeking natural wonders. In Japan, scientists have achieved an impressive breakthrough, recreating dreams through algorithms and artificial intelligence. Using MRIs and sophisticated software, they are able to decipher what our brains display while we sleep. During REM sleep, the most vivid type of sleep, they wake volunteers to describe their dreams before they forget them. The AI then generates digital images based on brain activity, offering a glimpse into our nighttime worlds. The popular game Roblox has decided to strengthen the security of its underage players using artificial intelligence. The platform can now estimate users' ages from a photo and control who they can interact with. Those under 13 will have their conversations protected and monitored, while those older than 13 can add acquaintances using QR codes. An adorable moment went viral on social media. A mother duck interrupted a wedding by marching through the ceremony with her ducklings. Guests couldn't contain their laughter at the unexpected appearance, and videos quickly spread online. Some joked, "I object. Recognize your children, Juan," adding a touch of humor to the event. Roman soldiers' helmets weren't just decorative. The crests had a strategic purpose. They served to identify ranks and units, while also making the soldiers look taller and more intimidating. The colors and shapes varied depending on the position, and in battle, they made it easier to recognize allies and organize quickly. Sony is preparing to launch the PlayStation 6, a device with 825 GB of storage and the ability to play in 8K. It will include portable and desktop versions, advanced voice assistance, and fluid augmented virtual reality. The handheld will allow users to take their game library anywhere while maintaining performance and visual quality, with a launch plan for early 2028. Squid have blue blood thanks to a protein called hemocyanin, which uses copper to transport oxygen. Unlike human hemoglobin, it functions best in cold, low-oxygen waters. This allows them to maintain an active metabolism and hunt at great depths where other animals would be unable to survive. People with severe epilepsy can live with only half their brain, as this organ has an incredible ability to adapt, reassign functions, and create new neural connections. Natural yogurt is produced by fermenting milk with beneficial bacteria that convert lactose into lactic acid, providing essential probiotics for digestive health. Processed versions add sugars and preservatives that diminish its benefits. Formula One was born in 1950 thanks to the International Automobile Federation, with its first Grand Prix at Silverstone, United Kingdom, and its first world champion, Giuseppe Farina, revolutionizing racing with advanced technology, speed, and glamour. Guido d'Arezzo, an Italian monk from the Middle Ages, created the first shapes and syllables for musical notes, facilitating the reading and teaching of chants and allowing musicians around the world to play melodies with precision and synchronicity. The concept of nothingness is an enigma for both philosophy and physics, as absolute emptiness does not exist. Space always contains subatomic particles or fluctuating energy, making nothingness an idea for understanding everything in the universe. China became the world's factory thanks to its high productivity and low costs, which is why many products in Latin America carry labels that say "Made in China," while the United States produces with high standards and higher costs. Breaking piñatas at celebrations has roots in Chinese and Italian traditions. Adapted by the Spanish in the Americas for religious and educational purposes, where the 7 points of the piñata represent the 7 deadly sins, merging pre-Hispanic and European rituals. Heterochromia, a condition that causes eyes of different colors, is more common than albinism, affecting approximately 1 in every 100 individuals, while albinism, characterized by the total or partial absence of melanin, occurs in 1 in every 17,000 people. Bread hardens upon contact with air due to the loss of moisture and crystallization of starch, while crackers, being drier, absorb ambient moisture and lose their crispy texture, a phenomenon that explains the difference in their preservation. Jeff Bezos founded Amazon in 1000, 994, starting as an online bookstore in his garage, innovating in logistics and digital services to transform it into the global e-commerce and entertainment giant it is today. The yellow color of taxis became popular in 1907 in New York, following a study by the University of Chicago, determining that it is the most visible from a distance and in low-light conditions, thus ensuring safety and easy recognition. In extreme flight situations, if the captain and first officer become incapacitated, air traffic controllers can guide passengers with basic knowledge to land, relying on automated systems and protocols that ensure aviation safety. Armored glass is manufactured by joining layers of glass and transparent polymers that absorb impacts, preventing the material from breaking into dangerous fragments. It is used in vehicles, banks, and buildings to protect lives. The earliest musical instruments, such as bone flutes dating back more than 40,000 years, demonstrate that music originated with the first prehistoric humans, evolving to become a universal expression that unites cultures over millennia. Egyptian civilization, despite its genius in architecture and mathematics, maintained a conservative and stable society that limited rapid change, which explains the slowness in adopting modern technologies compared to later industrial revolutions. Falling in love with fictional characters, a phenomenon known as parasocial relationships, reflects the deep emotional connection with admired stories and traits, functioning as a way to express affection and stimulate creativity without affecting reality or human relationships. Countries like the United States, Mexico, and Brazil organize their territories into states with political autonomy, while nations like Argentina, Peru, and Bolivia organize their territories into provinces or autonomous communities with varying degrees of self-government and centralized control. The act of yawning temporarily disconnects from auditory stimuli because the brain increases oxygenation and opens the jaw, focusing on breathing and relaxation, a natural mechanism for recovering energy and maintaining alertness. Roasting marshmallows over campfires originates in Native American traditions and pioneer camps, where the toasted sweet treat with a crunchy exterior and soft interior became a symbol of unity and fun among friends and families. Roman numerals, common in ancient times, are losing prominence to Arabic numerals due to their complexity. Today they are used only in ceremonial or artistic contexts, while the Arabic numeral system facilitates daily life and global trade. Artificial intelligence generates increasingly realistic content, making it difficult to distinguish between human and machine creation. Therefore, ethics, regulation, and critical thinking become essential to prevent abuse and maintain human control over technology. Cravings during pregnancy are due to hormonal changes rather than the baby's signals, and have no scientific connection to malformations. However, some indicate nutritional deficiencies, while most simply represent passing cravings. Snakes have a limited supply of venom, which takes time to regenerate, so they bite multiple times only when necessary, controlling the amount of venom to avoid wasting it and delivering warning bites without injecting toxins. Swear words have existed since the origin of language, used to express strong emotions. Their classification as bad depends on social, cultural, and moral norms, varying by time and place, while their number is constantly changing. Tuberculosis, a disease detected in human skeletal remains more than 5,000 years ago, is the first recorded disease, accompanied by others such as leprosy and malaria, which drove the development of medicine in ancient civilizations. The most watched video worldwide is Baby Shark Dance, with over 16 billion views, while the most popular short is Happy Birthday to You by Indian account Natak Maha, demonstrating the power of fast-paced visual content in the digital age. The first personal alarm clock emerged in the United States in 1787, the work of watchmaker Hutching. This clock only chimed at 4:00 a.m., designed to awaken its creator in time for his obligations. This invention laid the groundwork for more sophisticated and varied clocks. Julian Melchiori, a graduate student, created the first artificial biological plant. This leaf synthesizes oxygen by absorbing water and carbon dioxide without requiring special soil or nutrients. Ideal for space exploration, this innovation avoids growth problems in zero gravity. The Statue of Liberty in New York City served as a lighthouse from 1886. It illuminated the bay with a range of 23 miles, guiding ships toward the city. In 1902, after several accidents, the light was deactivated, and the statue returned to being merely a symbol. Terminal lucidity occurs in people who are seriously ill or on the verge of death when they experience sudden mental clarity and increased appetite and energy. This phenomenon could be related to changes in cerebral blood flow or the release of chemicals, generating a feeling of peace. Hummingbirds have a unique body structure that makes walking impossible. Their short legs are designed to cling to branches, not to move on the ground. However, they stand out for their ability to fly in all directions, even backward, being the only birds with this ability. The animated series Tom and Jerry, created by William Hanna and Joseph Barbera, has won 7 Oscars in the category of Best Animated Short Film. This achievement has not been surpassed by any other animated series, notable for its physical humor and rivalry between the cat and mouse. In Sedona, Arizona, the world's only McDonald's restaurant displays its arches in pale blue instead of yellow. This change is for aesthetic reasons, as the red mountainous surroundings would make the yellow look visibly out of place. The little-known taste umami comes from Japanese and means essence of deliciousness. This meaty, savory flavor enriches the taste experience and is essential for older people who lose their sensitivity to taste and appetite. Breast milk contains umami, making it present from infancy. Amazon, the e-commerce giant, would lose around 360 million euros if its website were offline for 24 hours. This is because it generates approximately 15 million euros in sales per hour, reflecting its global economic impact. Small fish in aquariums enjoy a constant environment due to their memory limited to just 2 minutes. Each visit to the same space seems like a new discovery, which doesn't mean they don't require care or encouragement to stay active and healthy. Synthetic clouds are an innovation to mitigate climate change. They are created by dispersing particles in the atmosphere that reflect solar radiation, cooling the Earth. This technology uses hydrogen and oxygen vapor, which, when combined, can induce rain. Abandoned dogs are trained to drive cars through a program called animal warfare. The training lasts 7 weeks and follows methods similar to humans, allowing these animal drivers to handle real cars and perform specific tasks. The length of a human foot is approximately the distance between the wrist and the bend of the elbow. Although this ratio is not exact for everyone, many individuals meet this curious anatomical equivalence. Dark chocolate melts in the mouth at around 89.6 to 93.2 Brugriff, close to human body temperature. This characteristic is due to its low melting point, providing a unique sensation when eaten. Mice display playful behaviors such as hide and seek, chasing, and jumping. These activities are not only fun, but also facilitate physical and mental development, improve coordination, and allow for the establishment of social hierarchies among them. Valentina Vassilieva, the wife of a Russian peasant in the 18th century, holds the record for the highest number of children born from a single pregnancy. Between 1,725 and 1,765, she had 27 births, giving birth to 69 children, including twins, triplets, and quadruplets. An additional record comes from Mali, where a woman gave birth to 5 girls and 4 boys in a single birth on May 4, 2021. This multiple birth earned a place in the Guinness World Records for the highest number of surviving children in a single birth. The Scooby-Doo series depicts a group of detective friends who face supposed monsters, but its true message reflects that the real monsters are humans. The creators seek to show destructive and deceptive behaviors in people. Beyond appearances, piranhas produce barking sounds. Researchers recorded 3 types of sounds during confrontations between red-bellied piranhas. One for direct encounters, another for competition, and a final one used to scare other prey by grinding their teeth. What of these fun facts blew your mind the most? Don't leave without subscribing, liking, and sharing for more Zarpado fun facts.